so much for joining us today for The Town That Built Me. I'm here with Emma from Essence on Main to learn a little bit more about why Clarkston is the town that built her. Thank you so much for coming on my show today. I really appreciate you taking the time and fitting us in the middle of your lunch rush. So I really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Yes,
I really
absolutely.
appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. Can you tell me a little bit about your business and how it started and how you ended up in Clarkston?
Yeah, absolutely. My mom started the business in 2007. She was a kind of a passion project of hers. She had graduated culinary school and wasn't really sure what she wanted to do. Kind of went into this with the idea of being a deli, making a bunch of food and bringing, healthy food to the Clarkston area. So she found this location with my father and decided this is it. And then it kind of evolved from mostly grocery and prepared food to the gifts and the tabletop and everything that you see today.
Okay, very cool. I love to wait until the very last possible second to get a closing gift for my clients. So many a time you have bailed me out because I have like 3 minutes to get a gift to take to the closing, and then I come in, they get it all ready to go, and it looks like I thought this through so much more than I actually did. So I personally and my clients appreciate you being here. For
Oh,
sure.
Absolutely. And that's my ideal client. We are here to, help you find the perfect little prize or gift or whatever it will be to give away to somebody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So tell me, do you know what this location was before your family took it over?
Yeah, it was an antique store run by the Vo family, the gal who owns the bake shop next door.
Okay.
Still, she still operates out of there. So they had like an antique shop, and before that, it was Hallman's Pharmacy. And I don't know much about that, but the pictures that I've seen made it look very, very cool, like a really cool, neat part of the community. So the building is over 100 years old. So this new life that we brought to it it's really fun.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about how you became involved with the business. I know your family was running it, and you've become more involved recently. Tell me how that has gone for you.
Oh, absolutely. My parents got the building in 2007, and I was away at Michigan State. So I would come home on the weekends and kind of saw the progress of them renovating and updating the space, and kind of saw the beginning. My mom was doing cooking classes and all sorts of things like that. And as I was getting closer to graduating from Michigan State, I would come in and do the books. I started getting a little bit more into this entrepreneurial business, and just kind of kept doing that nights and weekends. After I graduated from college, I just kept coming back, and something just drew me to it. I love the opportunity, the creativity, the community, the people that Essence has. And I just kept wanting to be a part of that. And actually this past year, actually 3 years ago, my mom retired, they moved away, and we're like, hey, do you want to run the place? I was like, absolutely, I would love that. So I came in to do this full time, and then this past summer I purchased it from them. So now I am officially the owner of Essence on Main, which is
very cool.
Yeah, a really fun thing for me. Yeah,
that is so cool. Your family must be so proud of you.
I think so, but you never know.
Very good, very good. So as a mom, my goal is to pass on my business to my children.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you would recommend for me to avoid so that my kids aren't talked out of taking over my business one day?
Well, and that's so funny you should say that. So I'm one of 4.
Okay.
And all 4 of us worked in this business. My 2 younger siblings were still in high school, and they started the business. So they were here renovating. They were here working all of the time. It was a chore. It became a little bit of a burden for them. And they do love it, but neither of them really wanted to pursue that. My brother was involved longer than my youngest sister. But I think the requirement aspect was a little bit of a turnoff for them. And while I was away, it was more fun for me. I was coming home and I was playing store, And then my other sister, she just didn't really have an interest either, but she's a little bit, antisocial, didn't really fit the right vibe to be working with customers, interfacing like that at the, all the time. So my only advice would be just make sure it's fun for them. Make sure that they're interested enough in whatever their skill set is that you can kind of lean into that.
Yeah.
Because we're all different, right? So we all have different
Absolutely.
skill sets, and play that up and hopefully that they
awesome.
will follow in your
That's
footsteps.
awesome. Yes, as a police officer's wife, I just hope that it's bad enough to be a police officer's wife. I don't want to be a police officer's mom
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
So
that
I'm
sounds like a
hopeful
lot of
that
stress.
they'll lean that direction. Then, not that I wouldn't appreciate their sacrifice, but
Right.
heaven help
Service,
me.
right?
Yes, yes. so, well, tell me a little bit about your community here. So I know you mentioned that you're a pickup place for local produce. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah. We're turned on to the CSA group through a publication that we advertise in called Taste the Local Difference, and they focus on local foods, local vendors, local businesses throughout the entire state of Michigan. And one of my good friends, works for them, and she introduced us to the CSA that operates. I think they're based out of Flint, but they have 3 or 4 different farms in the area that provide produce for it. So just helping our local farmers, helping our local community to get good food and be a location to introduce that to people is really kind of a passion of mine. We don't get anything for it.
Sure.
It's just a nice opportunity to have people come to this place and pick up fresh veggies that are grown throughout the state.
Very good. Okay, very neat. So tell me a little bit about, did I hear that you did some renovating recently? That you have a new spot that you're working on?
I have an up and coming space that I'm hoping will be a rental location for the community. One of our basements, because I have 2 basements here. This building's big, beautiful, and has these amazing rock wall foundation basements. And I have 2 of them, and I'm only really utilizing one of them to its fullest potential. So I thought, why not clean out all this clutter that's been stored down here and turn this into a space that we can use? And then my first thought was, well, wouldn't it be great to have a little rental venue where people could come throw a shower or get together and just have a really neat, unique space to do that? So I talked to the fire marshal, so I kind of got the ball rolling, but it's a little ways out.
Oh, sorry if I got the cat out of the bag for you.
No,
Super secret.
No. I love it.
Very good.
It brought me joy that you actually knew that.
Oh, good, good. Okay, great. Awesome.
A little more speakeasy vibe.
Yeah, that's so cool. It came to my attention that was something you were working on, and I mentioned the idea of a speakeasy, that the entrance should be behind a secret door or something like that.
It's in the back alley. That's the only direct entrance is in the back alley
nice.
already. So it's actually
Super
pretty cool.
secret.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
It's going to be fun. So I have some big plans for it, just hoping that the time becomes available to finish that out.
Good.
Sooner
Very
rather than
good.
later. It will get done.
Awesome. That's really cool. That's super cool.
Thank
so tell me about how the past year, what have you had to do, incorporate into your business to be able to get through the difficulty of this changing world that we've been in the past year or so?
Yeah, absolutely. It has been a crazy year for everyone. I mean, we are all impacted. There's no way that we could not have been. The biggest changes that we have made were a reduction in hours and a kind of honing of the things that we do so that I'm not spending money unnecessarily on, extended hours or products that aren't going to move. So we really kind of took a step back and looked at the business. We were just doing 11 to 3, 4 days a week or 5 days a week for the beginning of it to try to, reduce the overhead because, staffing's expensive. And thankfully I have the best staff and they were able to, step back and relax at home. So just me and one other gal for several months. And then we kind of were able, based on how busy we were, to be able to back those out a little bit again. So we, kind of set our 10 to 6 time frame, which works really well for us, works really well for me as a mom and a business owner. I have a little bit more work-life balance now. So one small silver lining of the pandemic for us was to be able to focus a little bit more on what this business was meant to be, a nice family-run business that helps the community, and we're able to do that within certain hours, and it doesn't have to be 7 days a week anymore.
Right,
so
for sure.
A little check on
Yes,
requirements.
I remember I was always on the go from the time I woke up in the morning to the time I went to bed at night, and having to take a break for 6 weeks. I wasn't allowed to do real estate, and it was just a kind of a lesson in taking it a little easier, a little slower, and really reminds you of what's really important.
Right,
So,
taking a breath and
Yes.
having that work-life balance. As I feel like as Americans, we really get wrapped up in what we do for a living and forget all of that extra stuff, like the family time and the family dinners and the togetherness with our friends.
Yeah.
That gets pushed to the wayside. So
Yeah.
being able to do that again and focus in on the important things, like you said,
Yeah.
is really great. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what can we do as a community to support you?
Keep buying local stuff. Honestly, we carry a ton of different local vendors' merchandise in our store, and every time that you buy something from a local shop like mine that is made locally, you're helping your community and like threefold. So putting that money back into the people that live locally is huge. So making good decisions about where you're purchasing things. Amazon's not. They might have some good prices sometimes, but it's not the way that you're going to be able to get money back into your community. There is some opportunity for that out there, but you are going to be way better off going to a small shop like mine, or Frank and Me, Society, Christina's Place. Like those are the shops that you're directly impacting the lives of the people that work in that building, including their staff. So it's just continuing to buy locally as you can. I know it's impossible to get everything local, but
Right.
focusing on that and just being aware of it is super, super important and so helpful. I mean, it genuinely impacts my livelihood.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Yeah, no, and I think so often we're so busy and we're not really thinking about the consequences of what a small thing that we're doing, it affects things in a big way. And I think to your point, Amazon doesn't sponsor your local softball team. So,
Right,
so we need
right.
to really encourage each other to, and that's something that I've seen in the business community is whenever another business person, we're meeting for lunch or something, we try to really do it somewhere that it will make an impact here. And so
absolutely.
thank you so much for coming on the show today.
It was
and
my pleasure.
talking me through your business. It's been such a pleasure to get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, why is Clarkston the town that built you?
Yeah, well, it's going to go back a little bit to what I talked about before and the evolution of me coming into this business. This business was started down here in Clarkston by my family, and this community has just helped us grow and hone in what we were meant to be in terms of serving the community and being a part of it. So just that wonderful feeling of this community has really helped create a beautiful foundation for this small business, and being able to, from college, come back and be a part of that and get a taste of it. And it's the reason that I bought the business from my parents is this amazing Clarkston community. The people here, my staff, everybody in the local area is just so supportive and so wonderful. So we are just blessed and pleased as all can be to be here.
Well, thank you for choosing Clarkston and being such a wonderful part of our community. We're glad you're here, and we wanna support you. And thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
having
Jessica.
me today. I really appreciate it.
That was my pleasure, honestly. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to The Town That Built Me. My name's Jessica Spencer, and I'm here today with Whitney Finley and Megan Long from Beyond Juice in Clarkston. We're just at Sashabaw and Maybe. It's a place that's close to my home because I grew up less than a mile from here. So thank you two for having me today. I'm so excited.
Thanks for coming to Beyond Juice Clarkston.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to learn more about your business. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you started in business, Whitney?
Yes. So I grew up in Waterford, neighboring to Clarkston, of course. So I've always been around Clarkston. I've worked in real estate since 2005, I guess. In 2017, I left the corporate world and I went out on my own and was doing it independently. And at that time, the Beyond Juice brand had started franchising, which I was familiar with them from working in Birmingham, where their flagship store is at, for a number of years. I was probably their number one fan as a customer back then. Anyway, heard they were franchising, looked into it a little bit because I always thought Clarkston should have something like this in it. So fast forward to the time where there was more freedom to choose in my career. Started looking into it a little bit and knew Clarkston was a great market for it to come in still. So having zero experience in food, that's when I picked up the phone and called Megan. So one thing kind of led to another, and that's what got us here. I'll let her kind of jump in with how she got to that point as well.
So maybe also being growing up in Waterford area, like the White Lake Waterford area, I actually worked in Waterford Clarkson, so I've been in the hospitality industry most of my career, dabbling in a few things on and off, but always kind of sticking to that hospitality, doing events, bartending for forever. But I also bartended in Clarkson for a long time, so that's kind of where I got my foot into Clarkson and really getting into the community and knowing a lot of people. But my background is hospitality, events, operations with restaurant, opening restaurants, and I was actually in Detroit helping my brother-in-law with his restaurant group, which is the Prego, Second Best, and really started in that industry where you saw like a big boom of restaurants. And Whitney actually happened to come on down and see me quite a bit, but we've known each other for a very long time, and we always bounced ideas back and forth with each other about different things.
Yeah,
whether it
you
was
name it.
Gyms and what are you doing with your
Marketing
life?
for this,
Marketing,
yeah.
this and that. Like,
How's project management going?
Yeah, like just everything. So there's always that connection, and then her passion for Beyond Juice, that's so funny. I got introduced to it from a friend because while working downtown and pre-restaurant, like you're going, you're prepping, whatever, you don't get to eat there. So you have to order in a lot. There happened to be a Beyond Juice in Eastern Market. So they would just shoot over the bridge and deliver to us like on a daily basis. And so she happened to reach out to me and say, I've got this crazy idea. Do you know of Beyond Juice? I said, yes, I do. I think they're amazing. She goes, well, I've been in love with this brand forever, and I just noticed something new on their website. And the first person I thought of was you. And she said, you know, I've always thought Clarkson would be a great market. And I was like, absolutely. We have nothing but
Fast food.
fast food
Yeah.
and not a healthier option of fast food. So, you know, so here
So we had a glass of wine and said, let's do it. And here we are. Yeah.
Yeah, we did a little tour on Juice, all of them, and we were like, let's really
Took a
like,
lot
dig
of good
in.
notes
Yeah.
and-
We were like, what do you think? What do we think about the brand? How each location operates? How are they, you know, how are they going to move forward? Just a million things in our mind, but
Yeah.
you know, now we're here, so obviously.
So yeah, then we formed our partnership, which the legal name of that is Hoops.
We are
And
rocking hoops.
hoops and buns, because we usually have a bun on our head.
Right
So
now,
That's
hoops and
awesome.
yep. So we're a women-owned business, and we were the first owner operator. I can't talk. The
Yeah,
first
no,
women-owned owner operator
Yes.
of Beyond Juice franchise.
Very cool. Very nice. So obviously, being a woman-owned business presents its own challenges, and I mean, anytime you're doing something that someone hasn't done before,
Yeah.
it's a new road that you're paving yourself, and so I'm really impressed and proud of you for the work that you did, and obviously it's a scary time to
Yeah.
open a new business, right?
Right
Well,
before
before
COVID hit,
so-
yeah.
Yeah.
And me, you know, it was a whole new industry. I learned a whole new industry. You know, we trained with the brand from top to bottom, from cleaning bathrooms to making smoothies, the food, the menu, the product, the bigger picture items too that we needed to bring to our store. But it's been a lot, but it's been great. You
That's
know?
so inspiring, because I think a lot of times for me, when I'm thinking about taking the next step in business,
Yeah.
I get nervous because I don't know.
Yeah.
Like if I
It's
want to
that
open
big,
a title company,
Yeah.
I have to know.
You need an
I feel like
attorney.
I need to know everything about title.
100%.
And sometimes you
And it's
just have
fun.
to take that first
Yeah.
step.
And that's kind of what we said too. I said, you know what? We'll just take it step by step. And if there's a red flag, we'll stop.
And
we'll
there's
regroup.
always something
And
to learn,
everything
I'll
was
tell you
like,
that.
all signs point to go. Keep
Yeah.
going. So
Absolutely. Well, that's incredible. That's so encouraging for me, and I'm sure our viewers as well, because just seeing that kind of response from the market
Yep.
as well
Yeah.
to you guys is really encouraging. So tell me what kind of challenges have come from owning your own business, especially in this time.
Yeah. There's a lot of different challenges that have come. COVID is the obvious one because we opened September 2019, so we were pretty fresh, and what we had laid out for our first year business plan was not at all what it looked like. So a lot of reacting and just keeping faith and saying, we got this, just put your head down and do the work.
Reacting
And
to a world that is also reacting to something that's
nobody knew what to do. So the uncertainty,
the challenges and changes of how we function and operate was, I think,
trying to keep
just
our staff
massive. Every week
uplifted.
it seemed to change, and every week people's comfortability levels changed. And I mean, at one point we had everything flipped over, and we had a barricade, and we didn't let anybody come in, which was like wild to think about. And I think I still have pictures, and I hope I do because I want to document like how crazy it got, because everything kept going this way.
Yeah.
Don't come past that door.
Yeah.
Don't only because we were trying to stick with whatever rules and regulations that were at the time. Everything changed from, it was day to day. It was really wild. And then to keep, and I'm grateful for this, but to keep people coming in and keep us relevant, because we were able to stay open as like a curbside option or a pickup option.
Delivery.
The corporate team had come up with these amazing little boxes, and we were doing produce things. People were scared to go to the grocery store, so we were doing produce. We were doing these gift boxes.
Toilet paper, bread, eggs.
And I mean, and on top of that was like changing rapidly day by day. So we're trying to manage how we're operating, plus put these things together, and then run out vegetables at people's car. Which, again, looking back at it, was so wild. And I'm grateful we did it. But as an operational standpoint, we were like,
a lot of reacting.
Where are we? Where are my hands? I don't know.
Right. Well, and I think that's an important, whether it happened to your business the first 6 months, or it happened to your business 5 years down the line, maybe being new and just learning how to do it was actually an advantage, because you weren't so
100%
set in your ways.
Yes.
And
you're hitting on a really important thing. We have looked at each other probably 20 more times than we would have liked to and say, I think we can only go up from here.
Yeah. Certainly.
But like we've been through
So
a ton of
many
extra
things,
challenges that you wouldn't normally see your first year of business.
Right.
But with that comes reward too. One of the things that came out of that is now that we're, post-COVID, we've streamlined our app ordering and our online. We went from like 16% of our customer base ordering through the app or online, which helps us streamline things as well, to in the 60% range. So that's a huge outcome. That's a benefit,
Yeah.
I would say, for our clients or for our customers and for us. Another challenge I would say would just for us, coming from one career to another, or trying to find balance within the two, and like, okay, who am I today? And
Right, yeah.
so it's been an evolution personally for both of us, I would say, as well. But like I said, just staying focused on the goal and doing the work to get there. So,
well, I really appreciate your giving back, and I think arguably healthy food is more important today than it was 2 years ago.
And also,
Sure.
you say that, I mean, I feel like, I feel the trend was already there, but I feel like a lot more people are more conscious now than ever, especially with immune boosting and what's good for me.
that you can do it
and
naturally,
Yes.
just with
And there's so much
natural
information out
minerals.
there, and this obviously, we have the slogan posted all over every single store. It's fresh as our focus, people are our purpose, and it's
if we don't stand by that, like, who are we?
Well, I mean, we had a
Fresh
juice.
is our focus,
It
people
was
are our
actually just pre-COVID, a juice called the Hero. I Need a Hero, and it was turmeric, or it is turmeric, lemon, ginger, black pepper, zinc, all your immune boosting ingredients that are amazing for you. We have kept that juice going. It was supposed to be just a seasonal thing, and now it's
on the shelf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on the shelf. It's been almost a year and a half, almost. That was only supposed to be a maybe 4 to 6 months thing, and
Yep.
I think it's one of the best ones we have. And I can actively and avidly talk about this juice to people, and they're like, "What's the best one if I'm trying to like boost my immune system?" Right there.
Yeah.
And there you go.
It was actually cool too. It's called I Need a Hero juice. So who are our heroes? There are healthcare workers, there are policemen, our firemen, our everything. So we were able to do really awesome donations with those juices last year. We did a nice promo with McLaren Hospital. We were able to, say thank you to their nurses and things like that. My husband's actually a fireman, and so I kept bringing him home, and I'm like, "You're my hero,"
Oh,
so
sweet.
little thing, community is huge. So
Yes, absolutely. So if people don't know what products you have, could you just give a quick overview of what you?
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm afraid that people might think that it's just
juice. It's not.
So if we had to describe ourselves as a restaurant, I would say healthy, fast, casual, definitely. So we do have the dining in option, but more than anything, we do have a big push for our app. So pickup, or we do a partnership with DoorDash, so they do our delivering for us, which is great because it keeps all of our baristas in here, kind of like puts out the delivering on somebody else. But the options that we carry, anything from healthy salads, healthy wraps, to raw juice. We do have an organic bottled line that is a cold pressed juice. That gives a little bit of a shelf life, and the best part is how they preserve it. It's done with a machine called high pressure protection, and there's no preservatives, no GMOs, there is no added sugar. It's exactly what you read. So besides that, we do smoothies and smoothie bowls. Again, fresh toppings. We get produce in daily. We get our fresh veggies and fruits and citrus.
Yep, we have some retail items that are homemade, like peanut butter power balls and cashew cookies and
Sure, vegan and gluten-free.
things that are delicious, but made with whole, pure, clean ingredients. We also have an infused lemonade option that people love. So wraps, salads, smoothies, raw juice, retail items, smoothie bowls, lemonade.
And then
I would say that about covers it.
And the best part, I think, too, is that we're able to hit a bunch of different diets. So whether you're vegan, we have a gluten allergy, we can accommodate that. Or if you really just want to add some bacon to your turkeys,
We have that
we
too.
can do that too.
Yeah.
So there's options. I think it's the best part is that there's something for everyone.
But the
Well,
ingredients are good.
I myself and my son are both gluten-free, dairy-free, so I'm gonna have to talk to you about
We
that.
have you covered. Yep.
Options, and that's what's great, you know. And the protein options, like even those where we source that stuff. There's a lot of information that we try and give to our staff about where it comes from, what's in it,
Yeah.
things that can boost your smoothie, and we try to train on that. Or we even have specialty boards that show like, hey, add flax, get those omega-3s
Yeah.
for the heart.
One of the
just
things
like that.
we're most proud of is being transparent. What you see is what you get with our brand, with our store, with our products, and whatever's in it, we're here to tell you. We're not misrepresenting it by any means, and we can really cater to a lot of different taste buds, I suppose,
That's
because
wonderful.
of that. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
Well, I'm looking forward to trying the, what was it, peanut butter?
Mocha,
Peanut butter mocha.
Oh, yeah.
a smoothie. Yeah. Yep.
So, obviously, you've planted roots here in our community. So tell me what's next for you.
You never really know what's next because the world presents different opportunities at different times. But from a business standpoint, continue to grow our staff for sure. Continue to grow opportunities for the store within the community and potentially outside the immediate community and see where that leads. And really, growth and being more proactive versus reactive as we've been since we opened the doors here. And just continue to grow. And beyond that, we'll have to wait and see.
Very good. Well, we're looking forward to it as a community to see your business thrive. Is there anything that we can do beyond the obvious shop here to support your business?
Just tell your friends, tell your family. If you've experienced an item here that you like, or just I think word of mouth it's still so old school, but it's still that.
It's a
best
powerful
marketing
tool. Yeah.
And are you going to listen to someone you've or maybe you've heard or seen something on Facebook or seen an ad like, oh, that looks good, I'll try it out. But as opposed to hearing it from someone saying you have to go try it, I've had the best experience, or this is amazing, you got to go in there. Like you're gonna listen to like your friend, for sure. So.
And another way is cater with us. What we failed to mention in our products is that we do catering. So we do smoothies, wraps, salads, and what we've seen compared to some other catering options is, the smoothie component, it's a little unique. So depending on what the event is, that might stand out a little bit. But that is one line of business that we're trying to grow as well that I failed to mention prior.
Well, and honestly, most of the time, if you're doing a grand opening or someone's not planning to come to that and eat a full meal. So having a smoothie or something that can get them through from 4:30 to 6 when they're getting home, that would be really a great option for sure. So, ladies, I like to wrap every episode of the show with the same question.
Yeah.
Why is Clarkston the town that built you?
I would say, for me, like I said, I started in this area, not bartending, because I had worked in Waterford for about 8 years, but I had a friend call me who was managing a local restaurant downtown, and he said, hey, listen, we need you. And I was like, all right, like I'll make my way on over. And I ended up meeting just so many people, and in the bartending world, you just meet so many people, and you really get to know a lot of people, and business owners, and people that just come in with their families, but they really just become close to you. And I've met so many people in this industry. My boyfriend, even as a musician, played at a local downtown restaurant for years. So you know other business owners, and you're doing fun events, and you just start networking. I met just such an amazing group of people here, and even now that we are here, we are just networking with such an amazing group of business owners like yourself and some other locally women-owned businesses. And there's the friendships we've gained and how we support each other. It's been pretty amazing. So for me, and being local, I thought, this is close to home. It's at our fingertips, and we have just a great network of friends and family in this area. So it was perfect.
Yeah. And I would say Clarkston is the town that built me, because since leaving the corporate world a couple years ago, while I've been on my own, independently building my business, first real estate and now this, Clarkston is the community, the business community, that has literally made me thrive and supported me beyond belief. I used to spend a lot of time in the Metro Detroit area, but never really focused in on my backyard and that business community, and that's exactly what I've been doing the last couple years, and it's been nothing but supportive and encouraging. So at this point, I would say that is how Clarkston has built me.
Clarkston, you're pretty great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much for having me in today and
Yep.
being so welcoming to our
Sure.
community. And I just really wish you all the success in the world.
Thank
And
you
if
so
there's
much.
anything that we can do to support you, please feel free to let us know.
Yep, will do.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
having
much.
us.
Thank you so much.